Most people think health insurance only comes in one form. Either you get it through your job or you get it through the ACA marketplace, but that's not actually true. There are multiple available options and each one works very differently. So in this video, I'm going to break down three main categories of health insurance coverage: group coverage, ACA plans, and private options. So you can understand what actually makes sense for your situation. So let's go ahead and start with group coverage. Group coverage is what you typically get through an employer. The biggest advantage here is simplicity. Okay, so you're usually guaranteed issue. The employer may help pay for part of the premium. The downside is that you don't have too much control. You're limited on the plan options that you're offered. And if it's a small company, the prices can be quite high, or even the employer may not even participate in helping you reduce those costs as well. Plus, if you leave your job, you're going to lose the coverage. And the companies that I like to work with is Blue Cross Blue Shield and United Healthcare. They have some very nice options and a very broad network. So next up is going to be ACA plans. And these are usually marketplace plans you could get through the government exchange. The biggest advantage here is that it's true major medical coverage. So for the first time, the government coined what is a major medical health insurance. And that has to have 10 essential elements included into the plan. It doesn't mean that all the other options available to you that I'm going to talk about don't have those coverage, but the big one is pre-existing conditions. So certain plans, you do have to have coverage. But pre-existing condition, what does that mean? That means that everything is going to be covered. And these plans also have standardized benefits. So depending on your income, you may qualify for subsidies to help reduce that premium cost. And sometimes the deductible can get reduced as well. The downside is that cost. A lot of times it's very, very expensive and there are network limitations. And I can't say that enough to the network limitations. If someone comes to me and they say, hey, I have these 4 or 5 doctors that I need to have coverage, I have to tell them to say, well, tell me them in order of importance, because there's a chance that 1 or 2 of them may not be in network. So premiums can also be very high, but what is high? Well, a family of 5 for me is $1,700 plus a month. Okay, and that comes with a $10,600 deductible. But that deductible has to be satisfied twice, which is the family deductible, not a pocket. So if you're looking at a $6,000 out of pocket before the company kicks in, and then the doctors' networks are often very restrictive. I'm talking about HMOs. Those can be very, very troublesome, where you have to go ahead and see your main doctor before you go ahead and see a specialist, which could be a month to 2, 3, 4 months down the road. So there are many different carriers to choose from, and that is going to depend on state by state and of course county by county. So heading into the private options, this is where a lot of people get confused, because private plans can include things like fixed indemnity, short-term medical, and health sharing programs. These plans are typically more flexible and often more affordable. So it's more customized to what you're going to use it for. Okay, they can give you access to broader networks, more control over your coverage, and they tend to have a lot less lower out-of-pocket cost. But they're not the same as ACA or group plans. So some may have underwriting, which means your health can affect your eligibility, and they may not cover everything the same way that a major medical plan would, like pre-existing conditions. So here's the key, that there's no one size fits all when it comes to health insurance. Each option has pros and cons, and what works for one person may not work for somebody else. The goal is to understand your situation. And I often talk about having a holistic conversation with my clients to set it up the right way. So expectations are going to be a reality when it's going to be used. So let's get into those private options. So fixed indemnity plans, they have lower cost, much lower cost. They pay a set benefit per code. So it's not considered major medical. And buying a cheaper fixed indemnity plan can lead to gaps in coverage. So I typically like working with Manhattan Life and United Healthcare. They're great for those upfront doctor visits, and they're great for that weekend stay in the hospital. To fill in those gaps, you would want to add a critical illness plan or an accident plan, and that would be great to be a perfect fitting for fixed indemnity plans. Now, short-term medical. is a plan, depending on state by state, that can cover you from 1 month up to 3 years. The prices are lower with a broader PPO network. So there is underwriting, and the bottom line is that it's temporary coverage. Again, temporary coverage. So when it ends, it ends. And even if you're still needing continuing treatment, it's over with. But in those situations of like between job by job, or you're having a group plan starting in 90 days, this is going to be a perfect fitting. I like working with United Healthcare, Pivot Health, and Allstate. They have some very good options. And then lastly is the health sharing options. This is a booming market. Okay, it's lower cost than the ACA and group options at times. It's community based, meaning the insurance companies won't tell you that a certain procedure is not approved, or you have to go to this facility, you have to go to ours. There is $0 unlimited virtual visits, and you could see that doctor time in and time out. Again, the wait time is typically about 1 day to get that appointment, compared to other plans where it could be up to about 27 days. And $0 unlimited virtual healthcare visits, which is great because those urgent care center visits often come at the worst possible time, or at the very last second before you're going to be, leaving on a vacation, which is, what happened to my family. But we got covered, and we got to speak to a physician for an urgent care visit in less than 15 minutes. So the company Mutual Health, hands down, is the best option on the market. There are many other health sharing programs, but Mutual Health really has their act together. So don't just pick what sounds familiar or what somebody else has. If you're not sure what the best option is, or you want to compare what's available to you, I'd be happy to walk you through it and help you make sense of it all. And if this has helped you, please make sure that you subscribe, because I'm going to break down this stuff in a way that actually makes sense.